that we're seeing today, but every single day. Since August of last year, since last homecoming, we've continued to see God do amazing things. Since last homecoming, 32 people have joined our church. And that does not include the large new members class that I have that will graduate next Sunday. Which means since February of 2021, 154 people have joined our fellowship, with 84 of those being baptisms. I think you can give God praise for that. The other important thing that you know is that most, if not all, of the adults that have joined our church in that time have gone through, sometimes it's 5 weeks, sometimes it's 6 weeks, sometimes it's 7 weeks, but have gone through a 5 to 7 week new members class. And so in that class, I get to know those that are joining, get to talk with them about how our church operates and all of those things. But one way that we have had to accommodate all of this church growth, and this is another thing to give God praise for, when I came into, and this is all public knowledge because our financial statements are public knowledge. In 2021, when I came, our church budget was $366,000, or $366,53.49. That is what our budget was. As of right now, our budget is $263.60. That is a huge increase. And one way that we're able to do that is when I came, less than 33% of our attenders tithed. That number is now at 68% of those that attend are tithing. And so we are able to accommodate this church growth because you understand what it means to give to the Lord. And that's why we as your church leadership are confident that this building has nothing on our great God. Because when they get that number, some of y'all like me are going to fall out of the chair. I guarantee you I will, but guess what? God's going to pick us up. God's going to show us how we need to do it, what we need to do. Here's the ultimate thing. God's going to do it. That's not something you and I need to be concerned about. What we need to be concerned about is being obedient to the vision and what God calls us to do in the meantime. Along with a $540,000 budget, we have seen a 33% increase in the last year in our cooperative program giving, with the goal to raise that by another 33% this year. This year alone, we've launched a new discipleship program called D Groups. The first time we did that was last semester. Last September, we did that last September. In February, we expanded our media ministry by adding a weekly podcast, which is called the Menorah Podcast, that you can find on YouTube. You just heard a few moments ago, but because of the church growth within our younger generation, we just added 2 new Sunday school classes that will launch on September the 8th. And as you just heard, we just launched our vision for the Field of Dreams. Now, I share these things with you. These are things that have just happened in the last year. I didn't share with you all the things the last 3.5 years because that would take the duration of my sermon and then some. But I share these things not to brag or reflect on me. It is not about me at all. It's not about you either. It's to show how good God has been in these last few years. Yes, give Him praise. Don't be afraid to give God praise. Some of you were